Hey everybody, welcome to this big one English lesson practice video. You can use this video to practice your listening and comprehension as I speak. Before we start, remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell and follow us on Instagram. You ready? So today I'm going to talk about outdoor tools. This is a topic that many you can relate to because I assume that majority of my viewers are adults. Some of us wish we were still kids sometimes, but there's nothing we can do to roll back the time. So first, let's talk about some of the most notable differences that exist between childhood and adult adulthood. The first thing that comes to mind is responsibility that comes with being an adult. This is something that most guys and teenagers understand mid adulthood. For example, when I was in high school, I couldn't wait to be an adult. I thought that the responsibility wouldn't be yours or everyone all the way to me. But boy, was I wrong. Young people sleepy, I can imagine all the challenges that adulthood presents. Of course, they know that probably the married move out of parents out and of course have a career and make enough money to support a family. A sound really pretty straightforward, but definitely harder than we think is it when we are still young. It was a challenge for me to become independent from my parents because they always paid for everything and helped me with all my problems. When you take that security away, it's a little scary for a young adult. Becoming financially independent and adaptability one of the hardest things about an adult. For example, those of that pay rent now that it can be sometimes be struggling, but especially if you are still in an early stage of your career. I think that parents should spend a lot of time teaching their kids about financial responsibility. This way, when they're older, they won't have to learn everything from scratch. They already have the good foundation to build spoon. How about you? Was it hard for you to become financially independent? Aside from the financial aspect, the other huge responsibility is getting married and raising children. Choosing the right husband or wife is one of the most critical decisions we'll ever make. If you choose wrong, you are going to have to live with consequences of the rest of your life. However, even if you choose the right spouse, you are still going to face all kinds of challenge in your marriage. That a given. It's our responsibility to work with our spouse as a team to overcome these challenges. Those of you who are married know exactly what I'm making. And of course, everything gets a little more complicated when we have kids. At the point, you take on much more responsibility. Okay, now let's talk about some of the positive of being an adult. For me, one of the best things is being able to make decisions on myself. When you're an adult, you get to decide your own future. You can choose the path you want to take. This isn't easy, but I think it's exciting. You get to pick your career, you support your residents. Another great thing about being an adult is that you understand the world better. When you are a child, you still have limited view and the world around, and you have limited experiences. But as an adult, you're able to see. In turn, this means to solve problems more effectively and learn from the mistake more easily. One last positive about being an adult is that you accomplish more, which exception of children prodigies. People in general achieve the most when they are fully grown. As an adult, you are probably already studying and gaining experiences, so you are more favorite self-signification thing with your life. I hope I can achieve a lot of in my adult life. I will definitely continue setting goals for myself to make sure that I do. Okay, now I'm going to ask you three questions today to check your comprehension. For write your answer in the comment down below. First, one on challenge of being an adult. Second, what's one positive thing about being an adult? Three, what will I do to make sure I achieve a lot in my adult life?